Hi everyone, welcome to week 38 of my second pregnancy. I look like crap, but I have a big story to tell you. So I'm 38 weeks pregnant today, have not had a baby, don't worry, you haven't missed anything. I clearly have missed a lot. Anyway, so this week has been a roller coaster of a lot of things, and it's just been crazy. So last week when I spoke to you, I was sort of in the beginnings of a cold, and that finally went on Tuesday, so it lasted about 5 or 6 days and that managed to come and go without much disturbance to me, which was nice, but then after that things just went haywire. On Tuesday I felt fine. Wednesday was, going about my normal day, trying to, dealing with, my cramping legs and my sore hips and all that sort of stuff, just trying to get through the day. Had dinner and then had a massive emotional breakdown. I am at the point where emotionally and mentally I can no longer keep up with the physical discomfort slash pain in some cases that is going on. I just feel like emotionally I'm just so run down, I can't keep up or stay a step ahead of the physical discomfort and pain. So Wednesday night I was having my usual Braxton Hicks contractions, which I'll talk about in detail in a bit. Sorry, I'm on my Swiss ball, my gym ball. So I was having those and I was just really tired and just emotionally over it. I just sat and cried and cried and cried and cried some more. So I felt very run down emotionally, which made, especially when you're so emotional about something and you get so emotionally run down, it makes you physically run down, like you feel, So my husband did his best to comfort me and, be the good husband that he is, and I went to bed and things, and I didn't really sleep very well that night. Kept waking up just feeling really odd. Kept waking up to Braxton Hicks contractions, which normally I can go through the entire night and not feel them, or I don't know whether I don't feel them or whether I don't normally have them at night time. Usually when I first get into bed I might have a couple, 3 at the most, before I eventually fall asleep. But I've never woken up in the middle of the night with them. But on Wednesday night, getting up to pee and things like that, I noticed that I was having them, and it was, just irritating. And then early Thursday morning, I felt them again, but I woke up on Thursday morning feeling off, like something was off. I felt off, And I said to my husband, I don't think today is going to be a very good day. And I was right. I woke up feeling like I was having like sort of hot and cold sort of flashes. I felt sick, and I thought, you know, like nauseous and things, and I was just like, oh, today's not going to be a good day. And from when I woke up on Thursday morning at about 7:30, my husband let me sleep in, because the night before I'd just been a wreck. The Braxton Hicks contractions were starting to change, and I was like, okay, I was having more than I normally would. I don't normally have them in the morning, right when I wake up. I felt like I needed to go to the bathroom a lot, and I was just like, today is not going to be a good day. My husband wasn't feeling too good either, so I thought, well, if he's not feeling good either, maybe we've caught something. You know, and this is all these things that would sometimes lead you to believe that you might be going into labour have nothing to do with the baby at all. So I kept not feeling very good, and then about 9:30 I was just like, oh my god, I'm going to be sick. So I did. I went to the bathroom and I was sick, and that sort of started off the events of the day. I have not physically vomited in like 3 years. The last time I remember actually vomiting was when I was pregnant with AJ, and I didn't even know I was pregnant with him. I did it once. I have not been sick since then. So it takes a lot for me to be physically sick. So yeah, that was lovely. But what had started happening, like, must have been about like an hour and a half before I started being sick, was my Braxton Hicks contractions began to change. And the way they began to change was they started, instead of just, with my Braxton Hicks, and I think this is sort of the general consensus of a Braxton Hicks contraction, it's low in your belly, in your abdomen, and it just radiates across the bottom of your abdomen, and you can get it across, you know, around your back like a ring. Whereas real labour contractions are different than that for most people. And I started to get contractions that started at the top of my belly and radiated down my bump, and then like settled in the bottom of my abdomen and wrapped around my back. And I've never had that before, like during this pregnancy or my first. And they started to become quite regular, like every 5 to 10 minutes. And I think they got spurred by the fact that my body was trying to get rid of this toxin that I ate the night before. It was a case of food poisoning. My husband, he wasn't like physically sick, but he felt off all day and just wasn't feeling right. But because I guess, you know, there was no way really for my body to get rid of the food poisoning out the bottom end, it had to come back up the top because, you know, the baby's in the way. So but the fact that my body was like contracting my stomach muscles to like bring up the contaminated food. It spurred contractions, and they were not Braxton Hicks. They were completely different to my Braxton Hicks contractions. I ended up running throwing up twice in the space of 2 hours, but the contractions continued for 5 hours, every 5 to 10 minutes, radiating from the top of my belly down to the bottom and wrapping around my back. And they were quite uncomfortable, like quite uncomfortable. So like I spent the day sort of lying on my side and sleeping, trying to sort of doze and things. And finally about 1 o'clock in the afternoon they stopped. And this was like 2 hours after I'd last been sick. So my body wasn't trying to bring anything else back up, but it had obviously spurred the contractions to, you know, continue for an hour or two after I'd, you know, my body had finished getting rid of this contaminated food. So yeah, that was interesting. Then yeah, they stopped, and they went back to my normal Braxton Hicks contractions, which are, you know, completely irregular, happen randomly throughout the day. I don't keep a track of my Braxton Hicks contractions, like how many times they're happening during the day, because it's just so sporadic. Like I might get one day and then like 3 or 4 the next, or you know, but lately it has been more like at least 3 a day, but it varies when it happens. So on Thursday, like I sort of kept an eye on Caius's movements and things, and he seemed to be fine. He would stop moving during a contraction, and then afterwards I would sort of feel him squirm, sort of like, you know, sort of, I guess, stretch himself back out again or whatever. So he was fine. I was supposed to go to the midwife on Thursday morning, but I texted her and I said, I'm going to have to reschedule. I feel really sick today. And it's a good thing I rescheduled, because had I not, I would have thrown up in her office all over the floor, probably. So yeah, so I've got an appointment on Tuesday morning instead. She was like, no, just stay home, don't bother trying to come out. It was pouring down with rain. She said, just stay inside, stay warm and dry, don't bother trying to come out to an appointment when you're feeling horrible. So that was alright, she was happy with that. So Thursday was a really rough day. I was, yeah, physically and emotionally drained, and was, yeah, it was like, so I got a little taste, basically, of what is to come, so to speak. It's funny, because when I do have my Braxton Hicks contractions, and on Thursday while I was having the real labour contractions, I wasn't freaked out about it. I was not, it's not something that I am shying away from. I don't know, in a way I was, I guess, welcoming it. Whenever I do have Braxton Hicks, I always think of it as a good thing, you know. And when I don't have one for a long time, I'm always like, oh, why aren't I having any Braxton Hicks, you know, like, oh, but, you know, I want to know that, you know, my body's, you know, getting itself prepared, and it's, you know, practicing and all that sort of stuff. So for the 5 hours while I was having the real labour contractions that was spurred on by my food poisoning, I was not complaining about them whatsoever. I just lay there and let them come and go. So in a way that's kind of put me in a really good headspace for real labour, knowing that this time round, I mean, I know what to expect because I've done it before, but that my headspace is sort of in the same realm as my body, knowing what to expect, and I can feel like I will welcome it more than last time, and hopefully that will help me have a better experience. I have no idea if the 5 hours of real labour contractions actually did anything for dilation or ripening or anything. I have no idea. I'm guessing it probably didn't. But I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, if it did, that would be cool, you know. But if it didn't, I'm not really too concerned about that. Yeah, I'm okay with that. So yeah, Thursday night went to bed and didn't eat all day. I could not stomach food. I drank so much water, it was ridiculous, but my body needed the water. So yeah, and then yesterday was Friday, and the effects of Thursday were physical on Friday, as in I had a lot of muscle pain in my chest and my back and my throat, which was really unnerving, really, because it would sting a bit. My chest and my back felt quite tight during the day. I think it's just because, you know, my muscles were, I mean, I was having these actual contractions, and you know, my body was trying to regurgitate food, and so yeah, all my muscles got overworked, I think. So, and because all my muscles and things are looser and more limber because I'm pregnant, that probably didn't help either. So I had a lot of chest pain and back pain yesterday. I got a bit worried yesterday because Caius was really quiet. I didn't feel him move for quite a while yesterday, and then it wasn't until sort of mid-morning that he was sort of up and about. So I got a little bit worried about that. But then he's been a busy bee ever since, so it's fine. He was obviously just like trying to recuperate as well or something. Then I noticed I had some not funny discharge. But yeah, like, I don't remember experiencing this with AJ at all. But it's watery, like creamy coloured discharge, I'm going to call it. I've had, you know, you have your normal discharge, which, you know, I've had normal discharge. But this was watery, but like milky coloured. And it was funny because like when I stand up from peeing, it would dribble down my leg, and I was like, what? The first time I thought, like, seriously, like, I've already finished peeing, what's going on? Well, it's happened a few times, yesterday and today, and so I was like, oh, having some watery discharge. But I don't know, like, if that's just I don't know if that means anything, quite frankly. I don't know. I have no idea what that means, if anything. But yeah, but that's going on. Yeah, what else? I was really emotional again yesterday. And I was just feeling like everything was just like one thing after another, one thing on top of another, physically, for me. And yeah, just not being able to cope. I'm feeling better today. I'm just still going to take it easy today because I tried doing too much yesterday. I woke up and I was like, oh, I don't feel sick anymore, but then I was just so exhausted, like, you know, like from the day before that, yeah, I overdid it yesterday and that was not a good idea. So I'm just going to try and take it easy today and just see see how I feel and things like that. But yeah, this week has just been completely crazy, and all I really want, I just either want, you know, this baby to come or for my body to have a break so I can like rest and then, you know, be like, oh, okay, it is time because I've had absolutely nothing and now things have, you know, started up again or whatever, blah blah blah, I don't know. But yeah, it's kind of like either bring real labour on or just let my body have a break from these aches and pains and the acid reflux and the no sleeping at night and the crazy Braxton Hicks and all this sort of stuff. But I don't know, you just got to deal with what you got to deal with. I know it sounds like I complain a lot, but if I'm being honest, this pregnancy has been so much harder physically on me than my first one, by a long shot. It's just been a complete 180 pretty much from my last pregnancy. So yeah, no, it's just yeah, I'm hoping from here on out until labour that don't have any more food poisoning.
That's it, me.
You want to sit up here? Say hi.
Hi.
Say, how are you?
Good. I'm good. So glad to see you.
Oh, you're so happy to see me. I'm so happy to see you. Oh. So yeah, I'm hoping that this next week will be, you know, if this next week, if I just have Braxton Hicks contractions, I'll be happy. No, I would like my Braxton Hicks contractions to keep going. I know that probably sounds like really weird, like you want them to keep going. But yeah, I do, because I like to know that my body is preparing itself and practicing, and that, you know, I don't know, I guess I'm worried that everything's just going to stop. And then what do you do? So I feel like if I've got Braxton Hicks contractions, if you know, I'm feeling like pelvic pressure or, you know, that sort of stuff, that in the back of my mind I can be like, okay, well, you know, my body is prepping, baby's chias is still down low, you know, all this sort of, you know, things are, you know, still going in the right direction and ready for when the time comes. So yeah, that's kind of like it's a reassurance thing, really, I guess. But yeah, so that's my long story of what's happened this week. That's really it that's been going on this week. Not much. I haven't felt a lot of pelvic pressure this week. Every now and then, and when I say every now and then, like every other day maybe, like it's not happened I think once yesterday, and I've had it a little bit this morning, but that's it. Oh, he's still to find out at my midwife appointment on Tuesday if he's still like, if his head is still like in my pelvis, like, and she can jiggle it, or whether he's sort of floated back up a bit. Yeah, I'll be interested to see. But yeah, so midwife appointment on Tuesday, so I will update you guys on that next week. But yeah, that's really what's been going on. I'm just trying to sort of recuperate now and recover, so to speak, and get back on my feet and back into normal life. Talk to you guys next week if nothing happens before then. I don't think it will, but you never know. It's crazy though that it's only 2 weeks away from my due date now. It's I don't know, it's just really weird. Very strange. On my pajamas. So this is 38 weeks. My shirt isn't even covering my belly anymore. So it's 38 weeks. Glorious belly of stretch marks. My belly button is at 38 weeks. It's finally now sort of starting to stick out a little bit at the top. It never fully popped out with AJ. I don't know, maybe I have a really deep belly button. It's not one to pop all the way out. It's like on the brink there, but I don't know if it will actually pop out. But yeah, that's the bump. He's doing a little squirm at the moment. But yeah, that's that. Yep, so I will leave it there, and I will talk to you guys next week. Bye!